Guys, I know that many of you grew up with a weird crush on this Catwoman. It's true, and you know it. So we're going to look at a statue of CHEETARA today, of course, from the Iron Studios line that we've already been looking at. You guys love this, right? I know you do. And by the way, I did not mention I picked all of these up at BBTS. You can order directly from Iron Studios or other online things. There's not really any exclusivity. You can probably get Entertainment Earth, if I had to guess. But I got them from the thing. So there she is on the cover, looking really good. Now, I think she's one of the harder ones to get across. I don't know why. It's something. I don't think I ever noticed that she had spots in her hair. That's a little bit weird, not gonna lie. Also, the super like 80s like unitard kind of thing that she's got going on is so funny. And just one of those things you just sort of don't think about. But either way, so there it says CHEETARA on the front, come around to the side, same thing, the beam and the lightning come across there. And there we go. On the back side, it does look very good. So, and of course, because you had to do it, CHEETARA. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show it out there. That's actually a really nice reverse shot there. Though the hair looks really funny because of, being single direction. Got some cred there, is what it is. By the way, the boxes are ever so slightly dirty. They were sitting on the floor underneath our side table, just out of the way. Also, I'm going to have to figure out where to put these after I'm done. My closet is literally behind there, so I'm going to have to figure it out. And of course, down here, warnings and such. Looks pretty good. So, let's get her out. Alright, and here we go. And once again, she's luckily short enough with her base and everything that I don't have to raise the camera up and do anything silly while on the tripod or on the turntable. One of those things. Alright, so let's kick it on. Now, I remember that at least one of these, you also had to do a little bit of assembly for like the back. I believe this section, yeah, this blue section on her, you had to also assemble. Weird thing is, of course, like the rest of them, with her weapon, with her little, golden bow staff of ass kickery, you had to insert that into her hand to however long you thought you needed it to be. And I do love this stance. It is a very epic, stance. I think some of these things are emulating from the original intro to the show. I feel like there was a scene of her basically doing this, not just running. I'm glad they didn't do her in a running pose, because this is just so much cooler, in my opinion. Even though her gig is to run really fast, she is the flashiest woman alive, or cat woman alive. Really strange. But yeah, look at that. Just fantastic. Anyone else get reminded of, who is it, Shriek? Is that the one, the symbiote? The yellow one? I don't remember. So, let's go. So, by the way, guys, if I haven't made it apparent, you do have to be careful when handling these things. They're not fragile, but they are definitely breakable. I mean, most things are. They are polystone, so it's pretty substantial and heavy, especially these bases. But one thing I'm never going to do is pick them up by the figure, because once again, they are only magnetized or just inserted ever so slightly. Now, once again, this back piece, I believe, was a separate part. It does look like it. I believe it's just magnetized over here. But you can see how her foot kind of goes under it. It would have been really difficult to put her in place otherwise. It's the first one I'm picking up and handling instead of moving the camera around, but maybe I'll do that. Once again, this is like the dumbest, like, cheap plastic yellow rod you can possibly think of, but it's still pretty good. So let's come in close, and you can see her eyes there. They look fantastic. I do wish she had a little bit more in the way of eyelashes, which I think is one thing that's lacking just a little bit. But nice sculpt, nice paint, lips are done really well. And, she's definitely female, is what it is. And we're not going to ignore the idea that, cats have more than... Anyways, very nice shading throughout the body, right through the ridges here. I think that's something that Panthro was lacking ever so slightly. And I just mean ever so slightly, but it's just a difference here. I love the molded in wrinkles here on the sleeve. and the painted little like wristlet or gauntlet, however you want to call it. And then the hands, on the other hand, have zero paint, or not zero paint, but zero shading. That's the one thing I find really strange. Like, the face is what it is, but the hands have zero paint. The hair also could have used a wash, in my opinion. With her, they shaded her skin very well, especially around the spots and coming down the quote-unquote bare skin of her arm. And, of course, they shaded inside here, shaded around the backside, and all that, which, not too bad for an 80s cat lady, And even shaded the feet down there. And once again, she's magnetized and also sort of pegged in there. It is what it is. Back here on the base, silver and black, like dry brushing and wash. The rocks, once again, look really good. Can use some of these ideas in making my own dioramas down the line. You do have some nice silver paint here on her little bracelets, or however you want to call them. But just that epic hair blowing in the wind. But the fact that there's just no wash bothers me. Like, they could have done a little bit of wash to her hair, in my opinion. And once again, as we go, we got to get her height, so you guys know what you're working with. Roughly 8 inches. And then width, because we're going to go this way, so you can adjust the staff however you need to. It just slides in and out. So roughly 7 inches at the base space, and once again, you can maneuver that however much you need to. Actually, width or depth, however you want to look at it that way. If you want to get her in this epic, like, side eye looking at you, is what it is. But it's very good. It's one of the smaller ones. And she had the smallest box, if I remember correctly. But it just is what it is, because she takes up the least amount of space, other than the very small footprint of Tigra. And then once again, guys, like I said, and a couple of the other ones, I will show how they sort of integrate to each other in a way, so you can put together the ultimate diorama, as it were. Next time with the Wily Kit, Wily Cat review, which is the strangest of the group, because they look like demon children, and we will look at that then. By the way, if you haven't watched the rest of the playlist for the Thundercats thing, go check that out. Maybe it'll be linked somewhere. I don't know. Go to the channel. You'll see them. These are all kind of coming out near each other, if not in sequence. So you'll be able to figure them all out. I do really love this line as it goes. Now, there are some small little details here and there every now and then. And, some paint that's out of line. Stuff like that. My main complaint is they did shading on the body. Didn't do anything on the hands or hair. That's my real main complaint when it comes to that. But Lion-O seems to be the one they really focused on. He is also the most expensive piece. So it's interesting to see what they prioritized when they made this line. Once again, it's an expensive line, but it's not out of reach. Guys, I'm not one of these YouTubers that makes a ton of money. If I make any money at all at doing this is, hard-earned paychecks, especially during Christmas. If I were trying to get them now, things would be a little bit harder. But, I got to work extra hours, and I put it to these things like this. Even if I had to put it on a credit card, and then I used that money that I made, and then quickly paid it off. It happens. It is what it is. If you really want them, I definitely suggest not sleeping on them. Do what you got to do. Stimulus checks are happening. If you don't need it to just get by like a lot of people, hey, splurge if you gotta. It is what it is. But I'll see you guys next time when we wrap this up. Wily Kit and Wily Cat. Or at least the next statue review. Whether or not that's the next. Either way. But I'll see you guys then. Remember, as always, keep on speeding.